The city skyline glittered under the evening sun as I drove home, eager to see my wife, Vanessa, and our 8-year-old daughter, Lily. I had spent the last decade building a comfortable life for my family, long nights at the firm, countless business meetings, and investments that finally paid off. Life was good. Or so I thought. I pulled into the driveway of our modern townhouse, stepping out with a briefcase in one hand and a bag of Lily's favorite chocolates in the other. The house was quiet when I entered, which was unusual. Vanessa was always humming while making dinner, and Lily would usually be running around, telling me about her day. "Vanessa?" I called, setting my briefcase down. "In the kitchen." Her voice came, but it lacked its usual warmth. When I walked in, I found her standing by the counter, staring at a glass of wine. She turned to me, forcing a smile, but I could see something was off. "Hey, how was work?" she asked, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "Long. But good." I leaned in to kiss her, but she pulled back slightly. It was subtle, but I noticed. A small tension flickered between us, but before I could say anything, Lily ran into the room, beaming. "Daddy!" She jumped into my arms, and whatever was bothering Vanessa faded from my mind. For the next few moments, I allowed myself to enjoy the little things, Lily's giggles, the warmth of my home, the feeling of security. But in less than 24 hours, my world would shatter into something unrecognizable. Because in less than 24 hours, I would find out that my daughter wasn't mine. The next morning started like any other. I left early for work, kissing Lily on the forehead as she sleepily clung to her stuffed bunny. Vanessa was already awake, sipping coffee at the dining table, scrolling through her phone. She barely looked at me when I said goodbye. Something was wrong. I felt it in my gut. At work, I tried to shake the feeling, but it clung to me like a shadow. Around noon, I received an email that would change everything. Subject: Urgent DNA test results. My heart pounded as I opened it. A week ago, on a whim, I had taken a DNA test with Lily. It was supposed to be a fun bonding activity, one of those ancestry kits. But when I saw the results, the blood drained from my face. Probability of paternity, 0%. The words blurred before my eyes. I read them over and over, hoping I had misread them. But they remained the same. Lily wasn't my daughter. A cold wave of nausea rolled over me. I gripped the edge of my desk, my breathing uneven. This had to be a mistake. A mix-up at the lab. Without thinking, I called the clinic. "Sir, the results are accurate," the technician assured me. "We double-checked before sending them." I hung up, my hands shaking. My mind raced through possibilities. Had Vanessa cheated? Was there some medical anomaly? I needed answers. I stormed out of the office, ignoring my assistant's concerned glance. The drive home felt like an eternity, my knuckles white against the steering wheel. When I burst through the front door, Vanessa was in the living room, folding laundry. She looked up, startled. "You're home early," she said, forcing a smile. I threw the printed DNA results on the coffee table. "Explain this." Her face went pale. The way she stared at the paper, like she had been caught, confirmed my worst fears. "Vanessa," I said, my voice trembling. "Tell me the truth. Now." Her hands clenched into fists, and for a long moment, she said nothing. Then, barely above a whisper, she uttered the words that shattered me completely. "Lily isn't yours." The world around me tilted. I staggered back, gripping the back of the couch for support. My breath came in short, ragged gasps. "Who?" I finally asked, though deep down, I already knew. She squeezed her eyes shut, a single tear slipping down her cheek. It's your brother." The words hit me like a train. My brother. My own flesh and blood. I felt something inside me snap. This wasn't just betrayal. The room fell into a suffocating silence. I could hear the faint ticking of the clock on the wall, each second stretching unbearably. My chest tightened, my hands trembling at my sides. My brother. My voice was barely above a whisper, yet it carried the weight of a storm. For how long, Vanessa? She looked away, ashamed. 8 years, she muttered. 8 years. I staggered backward, struggling to comprehend the depth of the betrayal. My wife. My own brother. For nearly a decade. I clenched my jaw, my vision blurring with rage. And you were just going to lie to me for the rest of my life? Raise Lily as mine. Tears streamed down Vanessa's face, but I felt nothing. No sympathy. No sorrow. Just a hollow, burning fury. I didn't mean for it to happen, she sobbed. Don't. I snapped, my voice raw. Don't insult me with excuses. Who else knows? Does he know? Does Liam know he's her father? She hesitated. That second of silence was all the confirmation I needed. I let out a bitter laugh, running a hand through my hair. Of course, he does. Of course, he knew. My own brother has been laughing behind my back this entire time. Vanessa reached for my hand, but I yanked away. Please, Daniel, she begged. I love you. It was a mistake, but I love you. We can fix this. Fix this? I echoed, my voice dripping with disbelief. You think this is something that can be fixed? I turned away, grabbing my keys. I needed air. I needed out of this house, away from the lies, away from the woman who had destroyed me. Where are you going? She asked, her voice laced with fear. To see my brother. Her face drained of color. Daniel, no, please, don't do anything you'll regret. I gave her one last look, my heart pounding. The only regret I have is ever trusting either of you. Then, I walked out, slamming the door behind me. I drove like a madman through the city, my fingers gripping the steering wheel so tightly they turned white. My heart pounded in my chest, a violent storm of emotions brewing inside me. Betrayal. Rage. Disbelief. Liam. My own brother. The man I had grown up with, shared childhood memories with, defended in fights, and supported through thick and thin, had been sleeping with my wife for 8 years. And he fathered the child I thought was mine. By the time I reached his apartment, my hands were shaking. I barely remembered parking before I stormed up to his door and pounded on it. Seconds later, the door swung open, and there he stood, Liam, my brother. He looked surprised at first, but that flicker of guilt in his eyes told me everything. He knew why I was here. Daniel, he started, his voice cautious. What's going on? I didn't give him the chance to play dumb. My fist connected with his jaw before I could stop myself. The impact sent him stumbling backward, slamming into the wall. You bastard! I roared, stepping inside and shoving him against the wall. 8 years, Liam. My wife. My daughter. Liam wiped his bleeding lip, breathing heavily. I can explain. Explain. I let out a cold, bitter laugh. You've had 8 years to explain, brother. 8 years of lying to my face, smiling at me while you were sleeping with my wife. Liam's face twisted with guilt. I never meant for this to happen. Don't you dare say that. I shouted. Don't you dare try to make this sound like some accident. You betrayed me, Liam. Both of you did. He let out a long breath, rubbing his hands over his face. I swear, Daniel, it started as a mistake. I didn't want it to go on, but... But what? I spat. You enjoyed stabbing me in the back. You enjoyed raising your child while I thought she was mine. He looked down, ashamed. I love Lily too. Don't, I warned, my voice dangerously low. Don't you dare talk about her. You don't get to pretend like you're some kind of victim here. Liam exhaled sharply, shaking his head. I know I messed up, but Vanessa, she made choices too. It wasn't just me. You think that makes it better? My voice cracked. You were my brother, Liam. My family. And you stole from me. His eyes flickered with something, hesitation, then guilt. Daniel, listen, there's something else. My heart stopped. What? I asked, my voice cold. Liam swallowed hard, his eyes dark with regret. Vanessa and I, we were planning to leave. The room spun. What? He ran a hand through his hair, avoiding my gaze. She wanted to take Lily and the money, she was waiting for the right time to tell you. My stomach dropped. Money? What money? Liam hesitated again, and that was all I needed. I took a step closer, my hands shaking with barely contained fury. Tell me. Right now. Liam sighed, finally looking at me. She took $200,000 from your account, Daniel. She was going to run away with me and Lily. A sharp, suffocating silence filled the room. 200,000. Gone. Vanessa had been planning to take my daughter, no, not my daughter. His daughter. And they were going to disappear. My vision blurred with rage. Liam, I said, my voice eerily calm. I swear to God, you are going to pay for this. He let out a long breath, rubbing his hands over his face. I swear, Daniel, it started as a mistake. I didn't want it to go on, but... But what? I spat. You enjoyed stabbing me in the back. You enjoyed raising your child while I thought she was mine. He looked down, ashamed. I love Lily too. Don't, I warned, my voice dangerously low. Don't you dare talk about her. You don't get to pretend like you're some kind of victim here. Liam exhaled sharply, shaking his head. I know I messed up, but Vanessa, she made choices too. It wasn't just me. You think that makes it better? My voice cracked. You were my brother, Liam. My family. And you stole from me. His eyes flickered with something, hesitation, then guilt. Daniel, listen, there's something else. My heart stopped. What? I asked, my voice cold. Liam swallowed hard, his eyes dark with regret. Vanessa and I, we were planning to leave. The room spun. What? He ran a hand through his hair, avoiding my gaze. She wanted to take Lily and the money, she was waiting for the right time to tell you. My stomach dropped. Money? What money? Liam hesitated again, and that was all I needed. I took a step closer, my hands shaking with barely contained fury. Tell me. Right now. Liam sighed, finally looking at me. She took $200,000 from your account, Daniel. She was going to run away with me and Lily. A sharp, suffocating silence filled the room. 200,000. Gone. Vanessa had been planning to take my daughter, no, not my daughter. His daughter. And they were going to disappear. My vision blurred with rage. Liam, I said, my voice eerily calm. I swear to God, you are going to pay for this. The drive back home felt like a blur. My mind was a battlefield, rage clashing with heartbreak, betrayal tangled with disbelief. I gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Vanessa and Liam thought they could rob me, lie to me, and disappear like ghosts. They thought I was a fool. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. When I pulled into the driveway, I sat in the car for a moment, staring at the house I had built. The home I had worked for. A home that was nothing more than a lie now. I took a deep breath and stepped out. Vanessa was waiting in the living room, pacing anxiously. When she saw me, she rushed forward. "Daniel, please, let's talk." "Sit down," I said coldly. She hesitated but obeyed. I tossed the DNA results onto the table. "Lily isn't mine." Vanessa flinched as if I had struck her. Tears welled in her eyes. "Daniel, I held up a hand, silencing her. "And I know about the money." Her face went pale. What are you talking about?" I let out a sharp laugh. "Don't play dumb, Vanessa. $200,000. You thought I wouldn't notice?" She swallowed hard. "I was going to tell you." I slammed my fist onto the table, making her jump. "When?" "After you and my brother ran off with my daughter and my money." Tears streamed down her face, but I felt nothing. No pity. No love. Just a deep, burning emptiness. "I loved you," I said, my voice raw. "I gave you everything. And you threw it away for him." She sobbed, shaking her head. "I never meant to hurt you, Daniel." I clenched my jaw. "But you did. And now, you're going to pay for it." She looked up at me, fear creeping into her eyes. "What do you mean?" I leaned forward, my voice deadly calm. "Pack your bags. You're leaving tonight." She gasped. "Daniel, please." "I won't press charges for the stolen money if you leave now," I interrupted. "But if you stay and try to fight this, I will make sure you and Liam regret every second of what you've done." Her lips trembled. "And Lily?" My stomach twisted. Lily. The little girl I had raised. The one I thought was mine. I took a shaky breath. "Lily stays with me." Vanessa's eyes widened. "But she's my daughter," I said firmly, cutting her off. "I raised her. I was there when she took her first steps, when she said her first words. I don't care what a DNA test says, Lily is mine." Vanessa burst into tears, burying her face in her hands. "Please, Daniel, don't do this." I turned away, my heart hardening. "You did this, Vanessa. Not me." She sobbed harder, but I didn't stay to comfort her. I walked upstairs, my mind already made up. By the time the sun rose, Vanessa would be gone. And I would begin the process of taking back everything she and Liam had tried to steal from me. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. This was about justice. Please support us to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.